Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Lane Milligan, a junior from Englewood, Colorado, who was recently named the Sooner Athletic Conference Baseball Player of the Week. And Lane, you had a series over the weekend with Texas Wesleyan, ranked number 12 in the nation. Took 2 of 3 games in that series. Tell us what went into the games this weekend.
A lot of hard work, preparation. Coach Craybaugh really drilled us this week on not sleeping on this team. I mean, last year they swept us at their place. So going into this, he definitely wanted us to not only win the series but hopefully sweep. And we were just unable to get that job done in the final game.
On the Friday night game, a 9-8 victory for OCU, you had the game tying run in the bottom of the ninth. Take us through that.
Well, they had the same pitcher in for the whole game, and he was a submarine pitcher and just was kind of hard to get a read on. Kind of had us tricked for most of the game. And I just went up in that last at bat just looking for something that I could drive into the gap and get into scoring position. And luckily he left a changeup up over the middle of the plate, and I didn't miss it. And, you know, we just fortunate that we could carry the game into extra innings, where I think this year we're 2-0 in extra inning games. So, I mean, anytime you give our lineup more at bats, I think we got a pretty good chance of winning.
What brought you here to OCU?
Well, originally I went to the University of New Mexico out of high school, and just due to some academic issues there, I was deemed ineligible by the NCAA, and was fortunate that my pitching coach there went here and played under Coach Lytle and Coach Craybaugh, and got me in touch with them, and just word of mouth got around, and Coach Lytle called me and talked to me about the program, and just felt like the right fit for me.
Your brother Tyler's here too. He's a pitcher on the staff who got the win over the weekend as well. So how did you both end up here, and what's it been like playing with him again?
Well, when he found out I was coming here, he originally, in the last 2 years, he was at Oklahoma Wesleyan, who is not in our conference, but in our own division. We play them quite often. He found out that I was coming here and thought to himself, well, I've never played with Lane ever growing up, and this could be my last opportunity, being that we're both getting older and baseball careers could be coming to an end. And he got in touch with Coach Lytle and Craybaugh and talked to his coach at Oklahoma Wesleyan, and he got released from there, and they found a little bit of money here to give to him and got him a spot on the team. And there's nothing like playing with your little brother. I mean, it's the first time I've got to do it, and he has exceeded all of my expectations. I mean, I knew he was a competitor growing up, all the time playing video games, just playing with him, but to see him, what he does with a baseball, standing 60 feet away from hitters, it blows my mind.
How complete is this team this year?
I think we have all the pieces that are necessary. We have a very strong pitching staff. Our starters speak for themselves. Matt Young has an incredible record, incredible ERA. Roberto Delgado has very pro potential stuff. Mark Simon is the same exact way. I mean, our lineup poses a threat. I mean, I would put our lineup up against most D1 lineups. I mean, every single guy in our lineup has the potential to hit a home run at any point in time. And our bullpen's very solid with Tyler and JR in the back half, along with Holden Lyons and now with Anthony Rossetti as well. I mean, it's really difficult to find a weakness in this team. I guess you could say the only weakness is we don't have a lot of bench guys and position players, which as the season drags on, yeah, we may be a little more fatigued, but any given day, anyone can step up, and that, I think, is what makes our team most lethal.
And what's your major here at OCU?
I'm a mass comm broadcasting major.
So what kind of career plans do you have following baseball?
I would really like to get into, try and get into ESPN some way, or just even a local sports broadcasting, maybe try and get some Bricktown games, like just something along that. Like I do enjoy talking the game as much as playing it, so it's always fun. I know we talked about before the show, when I was hurt, I got to go on and do the live feed over the radio, and it's just something that kind of comes easy to me, just flows. It's a game, it's easy to talk about, so hopefully I can find something in the sports world.
I understand you're also putting effort into learning more languages. Is that true?
Yes. I came here pretty fluent in Spanish, and having Spanish speakers on the team like Roberto, Mark, and Ricky Parra, really broadened my ability to speak Spanish. Just being around native speakers who understand it, I almost learned faster that way than going into the class, because you have to use it and learn on the fly, which has really helped me out, and I definitely think is a huge asset if I get to further my playing career in pro ball.
All right, talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Lane Milligan. You can follow the Stars on OCUsports.com.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to cheerleading coach Alicia Bailey, whose Stars won the first ever NAIA fully sponsored cheerleading national championship. And Alicia, let's start off with your first day performance in the national championship event. How did that first day performance propel you toward the second day and into the national championship?
Our first day performance was by far, hands down, the best performance we had all year. So we just came into the weekend ready, and the kids were prepared and felt confident and went out there and put a great product on the mat. Just like any sport, you know, you can make it to the finals, but you still have to show up the last day and perform that day as well. And so just the confidence that they got from prelims day fueled them into finals to give them what they needed for that performance.
You were scored very highly on your degree of difficulty for your routine. So how do you go about getting the squad ready for the difficult routine that you put on the mat?
Just a lot of hard work and preparation. You know, we actually had watered down our routine and put some easier skills in it at the end of the year than what we planned at the beginning of the year. So just from a coaching aspect, we come up with what we want at the beginning of the year and set the bar pretty high for our kids. In some aspects of it, they learn those skills and figure it out, and sometimes we have to make them a little bit easier. But this year's team was very, very motivated. You give them cool skills and they want to learn how to do them. And so the degree of difficulty, they definitely stepped up to the standard that, you know, we were wanting them to do.
6 All-American performers on your team. How difficult was the All-American routine this year?
I would say it's pretty difficult. It's pretty comparable to other institutions in cheerleading, so to the NCAA All-American routine, stuff like that. I think there were only 21 All-Americans in the country, and we had 6 of them, so very proud of our kids for that. Just goes to show that we have talented individuals, and then you put them together on a team and you get great results.
You guys often hold your practices very early in the morning before the sun comes up. How do you keep the team motivated to keep coming to those early practices?
I think it's just the fact that they love the sport. You know, we don't really have a lot of options. We have such diverse majors that if we tried to practice in the middle of the day, we would always be missing someone. So it's just, they know that that's the only option for us to practice, and they love the sport and they love each other. So getting up in the morning and, you know, showing up for the person next to you is what keeps them going.
Tell us about the championship kickoff event that was held at the Devon Tower the night before the national championship started.
The banquet at Vast was an unforgettable experience. I know my kids were very excited before it and after it, couldn't stop talking about it. So once in a lifetime opportunity up at the top of the Devon Tower. It was exclusive to only student athletes and coaches. So it was a wonderful experience.
Your team took the 5-Star Champions of Character Award as well. So what are the criteria for that award, and how did the squad go about qualifying for that?
Well, our team is very involved in the community. We did over 1,200 hours of community service throughout the year. So I turned that in, and I have kids that we're in about 15 different organizations on campus. So very diverse group of kids that come together to join our cheer team. And then on top of that, organizations outside of campus, our kids are leaders in their organizations. So just, and then the appearances that we do as a team. We go out to appearances on campus and outside of campus on the community as well. And they just, everywhere we go, they make me proud, they make our university proud, and they put a great name out there for us.
As far as recruiting is concerned, you've got tryouts coming up pretty soon. So what are the details for the tryouts? Tryouts
are April 22nd. We will do 2 sessions that day and evaluate skills. I always tell recruits I'm not necessarily looking for skills that you put on the mat that day. I'm looking for how I can coach you and what potential I see for the future. So if anyone has questions or would like to attend tryouts, I would just say shoot me an email and I can get you more information.
All right, talking to OCU cheerleading coach Alicia Bailey. You can follow the Stars on OCUsports.com.